What do a Power Ranger, the sheriff, a schizophrenic, the district attorney, a locksmith, and the Bald brothers have in common? You are listening to Home Seller's Advantage. I'm Aaron Zapata, your co-host.
And I'm Todd Anderson, your other co-host. We are the Bald Brothers team at Impact Properties, and we are here to give you the Home Seller's Advantage.
You can find us online at www.baldbrothers.tv. Again, that's baldbrothers.tv, or you can call us at 833-305-BALD.
That's 833-305-2253. Give us a call today.
Okay, that was a pretty long list that we laid out there before the intro, the intro-outro thing.
Yeah, I was saying you were working hard on that list, but even before we started, we came up with another one to add, which is a neighbor.
Yeah, we had a great neighbor who was very instrumental in this whole story that we're about to tell. And in fact, if you're tuning in, this is the Bald Brothers team. We're so excited that you're here. This is a special bonus episode for you who are watching us on YouTube.
This is not a radio episode. This is for the elite who subscribe to our podcast.
Yeah. And so because you are potentially watching this on YouTube, we want you just to right now in the comment bar, just say, hey, I'm listening. Do something. Just write a comment.
Let us know you're here.
Yeah, let us know you're here. Let's beat the algorithm on this one. Share this episode. This is the episode where Todd and I let you know that we do more than just the 3 Ps. What are the 3 Ps that you?
Well, yeah, I was saying when I first started in real estate, I used to tell people, hey, we do more than the 3 Ps. The 3 Ps are place a sign in the yard, put the home in the MLS. And then number 3, pray really hard that it sells.
Yeah.
If that's all you're doing, you need if that's all your realtor is doing, you need a different realtor.
Yeah, I mean this is the kind of story that we literally will be talking about for years.
Yeah, because you've been in the industry for many. Much longer than myself. Many years, and you were just commenting that you've never had one like this. Now, we've had lots of very unique situations. We've dealt with tenants. We've had to go through evictions. We've dealt with almost every single scenario together, and even yourself on your own prior to us working together. But this one really takes the cake in terms of all the things that it involved as you were listening to the very opener.
Yeah, there are so many ins and outs, ups and downs to this one. It does end with a beautiful bow on top.
Yes, it does.
We got a 5-star review from our seller, whom we've never met face-to-face.
Yeah.
And I got to meet the buyer today, and she was so thankful that she had the opportunity to buy this home. In fact, she's even going to write a letter to our seller, just thanking her for the opportunity to be the buyer.
Yeah.
We had multiple offers, lots of competition for this home.
Yep.
And so that's how it ends, which is great. But before it got there, we received this listing as a referral. It was a probate attorney
that we work with.
That we work with. And he said, hey, guys, this one's pretty hairy. There's got a lot of hair, and you guys are bald, so I'm not sure you can handle it. We thought, we can handle it. We're going to do it, right? And so we got involved in this. And we quickly found out that it did have a lot of issues. And let's start with this. Before we even get into it, there are some mental health issues that made this transaction unique and difficult.
Yeah, and as we talk about that, if those of you who are listening, we in no way want to minimize the seriousness of the mental health issues. Yeah. And both of us take it very seriously, and of course, even myself, being also a pastor and working with people in many different areas. So we don't take light of the mental health issues, but it really does play a significant role in how this story plays out. So we have to mention it and talk about how the mental health issue had a significant impact on this transaction.
Yeah. And in this case, the schizophrenic was the tenant. And he has been developing in mental illness, had for about 25 years, is what we learned from the family members. And everybody in this story, including Todd and myself, including the tenant's sister, including the tenant's mom, all wanted help for this gentleman. And because it was the issue that created the story. So we have to tell it to you like it is. Because we're realtors. We're not psychologists. We're not No, we're not paid professionals dealing with these kind of issues, but it became the issue that we had to work through. And so when we got the call, we knew that this person had to be moved out. And I got a call saying, hey, keys have been delivered to the eviction attorney. You are good to go. And that's where it starts. I drove down to the eviction attorney's office. I signed for the keys. I've got my keys, and I roll on down to the property to make sure I take a look at it because we got to put it on the market.
Yep, and I wasn't with you at this time.
You were not with me.
Yeah, you went by yourself this first time.
That's right. And I opened the door, and as soon as I cracked the door, I heard somebody's voice. Some lights were on, and I thought to myself, there's no way this house is empty.
I think you heard the shower going too, didn't you? Or
I
some
heard
water
water
going.
for sure.
Yeah.
And I heard a person talking. It was a male voice. And I'm like, okay. I pulled my head back out of that door. I quickly closed the door.
I said it's like Homer Simpson backing into the bushes.
Yeah. I locked it, and I called the owner. I'm like,
did you start whistling on your way out?
Yes. Yeah. No. I was quiet and silent. Okay. I called the owner and I said, hey, I know you said he was out, but he's not out.
Yeah. And by the way, when you say owner, you're referring to the administrator of the estate for this probate.
Correct. Yeah. Thank you. And so she's like, oh, no. So we then had to go through the process of a sheriff's eviction.
Yep.
We have an unlawful tenant who doesn't belong there. And the sheriff, we come to find out, has one job when it comes to sheriff's evictions.
Mm-hmm. Just to post the notice.
Post a piece of paper.
Yeah, and I'm not going to go too long in this because we've done it in other episodes, but I was the one that was involved in this, the next part of the story, because you were unable to be there. And so I met with a locksmith, and we were supposed to meet with the sheriff's team that does the evictions. And as I walk up to the gate, this is the first time that we found out that there was a serious mental health issue. We didn't know up until this point. We knew there were some issues, but we didn't know the nature of them.
Or the scope.
Yeah. And we had a sign posted on the vinyl gate that was posted by the neighbor, letting it, because she knew we were doing the eviction because the tenant's sister had notified her. Yeah. And she let us know all of the issues, how serious it was. He believed that he owned the own complex. He believed he'd been in Vietnam. He believed that he worked for the CIA and all these covert operations, mm-hmm. and he was very aggressive, very angry, and she was really concerned over the well-being of everybody involved. Yeah. And so when the sheriffs came, I'd taken a picture of it, and I showed them that, and they said, oh, they had no idea. Yeah. So now it became elevated to a different level. So now they had to wait for their psychiatric person to come and be a part of that. That took a couple of hours. And long story short, because it could be a really long story, there was a long standoff basically at the door. Going back,
verbal exchange.
A verbal exchange, standoff. They had pepper spray. They were ready to go. And in fact, his sister was there as well. Yeah. And she even said, I wish they would just go in and physically remove him. But guess what? They were unwilling to do that. They said, if we can't get him to willingly come out, we're going to have to do this another way. Right. Because they did not want to risk the team. They didn't want to risk any sort of violent altercation. Yeah. They didn't want to risk bad publicity. There was a whole number of reasons. And so we had to go back to the drawing board. And that went to the next level, which is
where I get a phone call. No. Then we decided so the sheriff left, and now we have to wait for the person to leave. Mm-hmm. And we can't figure out when this guy leaves because he doesn't have a schedule. Yeah. Doesn't work. He doesn't go places. He does a lot of different things at different times. It's kind of weird. And so the neighbor said, well, I'll keep an eye out for it, but she's not outside all the time. So we installed a camera on her home, and she's like, I will watch the camera.
So we had the camera above her garage door, but ironically facing at the neighbor's garage.
Well, we had to do that, right? And it was right in her backyard, and so she had to do that, and she really needed help. She needed our help, and we needed her help. Mm-hmm. And so I got a call real early one morning from the administrator, from the neighbor saying he just left. We don't know when he's coming back. Call the sheriff. Mm-hmm. Get down here. So all of a sudden, sheriff's calling me because we all exchange numbers, and they're like, "You better get down here." So I'm flying down the freeway, and driving on the shoulder.
And the sheriff. Now this is a true story. The sheriff told Aaron, "Break this." He told
get here quick.
Get here quickly, and if you get pulled over, let them know that we told you to get here quickly.
Yeah. So if you're law enforcement, you're listening to this, forgive me. You weren't there. It was crazy. I got honked at. People flipped me off. Someone chased me down. Thought you just deserved that. He was like road raging against me because I'm trying to get to this place to help this, guy out. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. I'm just so glad I didn't get pulled over and nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
And nobody got hurt in the making of this story at all. Okay. Like there's a little disclaimer. So we get down there early. Sheriff is there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, sheriff gets there before I do. He is able to get into the home and he posts an eviction notice and he leaves.
Yeah.
Before I get there.
Yeah.
So I call him up. I'm like, dude, where are you?
And his job is done.
He's like, I'm done. Our sergeant told us to leave. I was like, excuse me? Like, what happens when the guy comes back? Oh, then you have to call the local PD.
Yeah.
We don't deal with that. And I'm like, so all you did was post a notice inside the home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That we have repossessed the home for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we posted the notice.
Yeah.
And now you can call the local PD if something happens. So we're like, okay. So I called the locksmith. Of course, we have to get the locks changed. We have to do all of those things. And we get the locksmith in there. We get the locks changed, and the guy comes back. Mm-hmm. And he can't get in.
Yeah.
He can't get in.
While you're there, the
right.
supposed tenant, and by the way, he wasn't even technically a real legal tenant, but that's a whole separate issue.
He's not on the lease agreement. No, nothing.
He's an occupant.
Just an occupant. And so he tries to get in, and I'm like, I'm not sure. They posted this on your door. You might have to call them. And he pulls it off the door. He's like, this is fraud. This is crazy. And he leaves. Mm-hmm. So he leaves. I'm like, great. So I was able to further secure the property, which I have a legal right to do now as the, authorized person for the owner, for the court, for the probate. And I leave it there. I get it all secure and I leave. Only to find out that night he somehow got back in. Mm-hmm. And moved back in.
Yeah.
So day number 2 comes by. I go down there again thinking, okay, I gotta take inventory. Got to figure out what to do because he has stuff in there. And
starting to figure out what to do with all the junk,
Thankfully, I took one of our coworkers with us.
Yeah.
And I get to the front gate and it sticks a little. I'm like, that's weird. I go to the front door and the notice that was posted inside the front door was gone. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing this again. I'm not sticking my head in that door. And so I back out of the entryway, the patio area, and I immediately called the local PD. Mm-hmm. So now we've gone for the sheriff. Now this is the local PD. We're going to get to the Power Ranger, but we're going to get to the local.
That's right. There's a Power Ranger in this.
And the district attorney.
Yeah.
So I called the local PD. I'm like, there's a guy here. He's not supposed to be here. We evicted him yesterday. Here's the notice, blah, blah, blah. They sent 3 officers down, and they have a verbal, altercation, and it only takes about 30 minutes total, and they ended up taking him away in handcuffs and having him arrested and took him down to jail. So that's a really long day, very nervous day for me because here I am. Now I'm confronting this person face to face. He's in the home. He's not supposed to be in the home. They come in. They pull him out. He went peacefully. He didn't go angrily. Mm-hmm. Thank God for that. Yeah. We're so blessed in that.
Yeah.
And he goes to jail, and I, again, resecure the whole property, figure out where I thought he came in, make sure there's no possible way. Turns out he was in jail for quite a long time because of the psychiatric issue.
Well, he was actually in jail and released immediately, and then he was taken and put in a psychiatric hold. But this show isn't about all that. But there are a lot of other things that were happening in the background. But so suffice it to say, we finally had the property secured.
Yep.
And now we've got to deal with all of the.
That's right. With the help of the family, we're being thanked by the family.
Yeah.
They want help for him. And actually, by the way, Todd, I heard this morning he's doing really well.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
He's doing good.
Thank the Lord for that.
Yeah. So it was good to hear. I mean, I was really nervous, but so where was I? So we now we had the house. Now we could prepare it for sale. We got it listed. We got it in the market. We got multiple offers, and here comes the Power Ranger.
The Power Ranger. Yeah, this is an interesting story because there was a lot of competition for this home. It was priced appropriately.
Yep.
And so the winning offer, the agent that I had spoken with a few different times, we were trying to evaluate, and one of her last things to try to get us to select her is she said, oh, by the way, I'm one of the original Power Rangers. And you'd be able to do business with a Power Ranger.
It's like one of those celebrity, where are they now?
So, I looked her up, and this is for you. I'm not going to tell you the name of the Power Ranger. You're going to have to reach out to us. Go to our website, baldbrothers.tv, reach out to us, and because I looked her up, And I found, she was doing signings and everything. So she was one of the original Power Rangers. And I told her, hey, I grew up in Okinawa, Japan, and the Power Rangers was based off of a Japanese program I watched as a kid. So we had a lot going back and forth. So, so one of the superheroes in the story is a Power Ranger. But you know what? There's two other superheroes. We are the Bald Brothers. We need to.
I'm not wearing leotards, though.
No, I'm not wearing a cape.
A unitard or a cape or nothing like that.
No, our superhero outfit is casual.
Yeah, that's right.
Casual
that's
Friday.
Right. That's right. I think the interesting thing, and we kind of glanced over it, but that neighbor, I think, was the most pivotal person.
She was so helpful. She let us install the security camera. Yeah. When he was leaving, she would let us know. She was it really is worth it to have good neighbors.
Yeah. I'm curious, what does our audience think would be like a great way to say thank you to her? I'm just curious. Put it in the comments. We'd love to hear.
Yeah.
Super nice lady, older, single lady, desperately wanting a good neighbor.
Well, one way to thank her is to put a really good owner in the property. I think she's going to be happy with this.
She's going to be thrilled. She's going to be thrilled. So we've got a couple more people involved in this story. Mm-hmm. We kind of glanced over to Locksmith.
Yeah, Locksmith.
The thing about the Locksmith, and I love responsive Locksmith. Yeah, showed up like super fast at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
right, to come do this job, but he didn't have the replacement locks with him, and so there was a portion there where he had to leave the property unsecured. Like, this scared me.
Yeah,
but he came back, did his job.
He came back. Yeah, he didn't just leave and not come back.
So thankful, right? He didn't just bail on us. And then the district attorney.
Yes, the DA.
Because I had to call the cops, and because he was there illegally trespassing, I had to issue a verbal authorization to arrest him as the landlord of the property.
Yeah.
And so I get a letter like 10 days after this event that says, we've identified you as a victim from the district attorney. And I'm like, what's this? I turned it over to the probate attorney. I'm like, what's this? And he's like, don't worry about it. They're just saying if you want to press charges. I'm like, no, I'm that's not why we're doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not an attorney. I just need to sell the home for the court and for the owner. And
all the emotional trauma that you were put through.
Hey, you know what? As realtors, we are here to serve our clients.
Yeah.
And as the Bald Brothers team, we have been put in some very precarious and dangerous positions. This one perhaps had some of the most nerve-wracking, potentially dangerous outcomes that we have faced together, actually, as a team. I remember back in the late 90s working with a seller who was a drug addict, and he left his car in our lot overnight one night, and the police came and raided it and got all this drug paraphernalia out of it. And we had to explain that it wasn't our car. It wasn't one of our realtors' cars, and they were going to haul him off to jail, and he didn't care if his house sold. He threatened to blow it up. He's like, I'm just going to turn the gas on and throw a match. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then he sold the king palm tree out of the front yard, a $10,000 tree. He sold it, right before closing.
Yeah.
The buyer gets there and where's
the palm tree?
And the guy's like, I don't care. I'll just blow up the house if you don't want it.
Yeah.
Just terrible stuff. We could go on, but
that's like the movie The Money Pit, where he takes the pool.
Right.
He gets there and the pool's missing. They took the pool with them.
Yeah. So all that to say, guys, we appreciate you watching this show and hanging on with this. We want you to know that there are times we have to go above and beyond. Sometimes it is as easy as putting the sign in the yard, putting it in the MLS, and then marketing it for a buyer.
We love those ones.
Yeah, right. We do.
Those ones offset the very challenging ones.
Yeah. But we have had to go into some challenging things, and we're just grateful for every opportunity we get. And we're now in 2024, and we do have a goal. We have a goal. We want to help 48 property owners go through the process of selling a home. And that doesn't sound like a lot, perhaps, if you're thinking, wow, only 48. The average realtor in America, half of the people in America that are licensed real estate agents sell one or less homes per year. We want to do 48.
Yeah.
And so that's a really big goal. And so if you know somebody who is going through a situation and they just need somebody to come in who's gone through some tough things like we have, that might be willing to look at the other side of the story and figure out what angle we have to take in order to enact a proper and a good end to the story, we want to talk to you. We've got two bald heads, and we like to think about things, and sometimes two bald heads are better than one.
Yep.
And so we want to be here for you. And how can you reach us?
You can reach us. Call us at 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-2253. And we've got our website, baldbrothers.tv. And you go there, you can get, actually, if you click on the upper left-hand side, that'll take us to our .com website, which has other information as well. It's all connected.
It's all there. Like if you're on YouTube and on the podcast, you can actually click on the links below.
Yep.
You can go to our Get Offers website where you can ask us to give you an offer. We have a chat bot. We have a chat bot there that will talk to you about your home and stuff like that, which is it's an AI bot, pretty cool. And then, we have
the AI bot. It knows our minds. It knows what to say. What would the Bald Brothers say to this person?
Yeah.
It's kind of spooky.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Hey, we've gone off track, and we've gone long enough. Thanks for being here. And these bonus episodes we enjoy doing because we're not so time-bound, and we just get to have fun. So God bless you guys. Give us a call. Let us know how we can help you today. We do primarily work in Southern California, but we do have a nationwide network of agents that are willing to step in and help, and we will work closely with them no matter where you are in the country. So give us a call today. God bless you. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to the Home Seller's Advantage. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Impact Properties, Inc., licensed by the California Department of Real Estate, 09122-671. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice. If you'd like to reach us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.